Let's go.
Yo. What's good? Jacob here. J-Rod, Rod, whatever you want to call me. We back at it with another episode of Rod's Radio. Episode 6. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I want to thank every single one of y'all that's been supporting me, listening to me, and sharing my podcast. I really do appreciate it. I know I said that Rod's Radio would be twice a week, but I'm moving it to once a week. I feel like it's the best decision, considering I have basketball practice and with basketball news. So therefore, Rod's Radio will release a new episode every Saturday. With that being said, there's been a lot of great basketball that's been played during the past week. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Ever since the NBA season started back up, there's been one narrative on NBA Twitter that I just think is insane. That Steph Curry doesn't have it anymore. That Steph Curry is not the same player he used to be. That Steph Curry can't carry a team. That's just idiotic. And Steph thought the same thing. Steph started the season slow. I'll admit it. He did. But he heard the noise. He heard what people were saying about him. So, you know what he did? He dropped 62 points on Sunday. 62. Career high. Steph Curry now has more 60-point games than Kevin Durant. Steph Curry, that was his first 60-point game. But we're not talking about Kevin Durant. We're talking about Stephen Curry. Over the last 4 games, the Warriors are 3-1, with Curry averaging 35.7 a game. The dude's insane. If you were watching the game on Sunday, there's no doubt in my mind that he's the greatest shooter of all time. I think everybody can say that. He is miles ahead of Ray Allen, miles ahead of Reggie Miller, and frankly, miles ahead of his buddy, Klay Thompson. It's not an argument anymore. And you heard it here on Rod's Radio. I said the Warriors are making the playoffs. And I still stand by that. There's no question. There's no doubt in my mind that the Warriors are going to make the playoffs. Curry is in MVP form right now. The Warriors right now are 5th in the West, hold a 5-4 record. Steph's not the only reason that they've had success. And you might be like, what? Of course he is. Well, Andrew Wiggins has stepped up as well. Over the last 4 games, he's averaging 18. And that's huge. Andrew Wiggins, former number 1 overall pick. I think he's finally found his role. He's finally being the player that everybody thought he would be. He's a great second option on this team. And he's fitting well with Steph Curry. And you also got Draymond Green. Draymond Green is one of the best playmakers of all time. You know, Draymond Green's not trash. He's not. You might say he's trash because he's dropping 0 points a game, but look at his assists. Look at his rebounds. Draymond Green does a lot of things that the stats don't show. They are huge to this Warriors team. They've been huge in their championship runs. Draymond Green's no joke. He's not. It's time to give him his credit. And they also have James Wiseman. James Wiseman, still my pick for Rookie of the Year. I mean, you got LaMelo balling. You got Anthony Edwards balling. But James Wiseman, he's right up there with them boys. With the Warriors making the playoffs, I mean, how can't you give him Rookie of the Year? You know, obviously, most Rookie of the Years don't make the playoffs. They're on losing franchises. But you got to give James Wiseman some credit. You have to. Not only did Steph Curry drop 62, but just yesterday, this man, Steph Curry, came back from down 22 points against the Los Angeles Clippers. Yeah, another lead blown by the Clippers. PG had 25, Kawhi had 24, but Steph had 38. Man, the shots he was making. And Paul George, again, was getting gamed, was getting daggers right in his face. And he had no answer. Paul George had no answer. So let's talk about the Clippers. They're 6-4 right now. Paul George averaging 24. Kawhi averaging 23. Paul George thinks he's balling right now, though. It's only 24 a game. Only 24 a game. And Kawhi Leonard, I mean, I'm not really going to talk about Kawhi Leonard because Kawhi Leonard's still the player that I thought he was. Nothing too spectacular. He'll never win an MVP in this league. He was never better than LeBron James. I don't think he was ever a top 3 player in the world, in my opinion. The Clippers had a game against the Suns earlier this week. The Clippers actually won this game, but Paul George and Devin Booker got into it. You know, they had their little scuffle, and Devin Booker called him a soft-ass bleep. I'm not going to say the word, but Paul George took offense to it. Paul George had this to say: I didn't hear none of this in my 10 years in the league, but people live on that last year. Paul, are you dumb? Are you stupid or are you dumb? Which one? What you did last season, it needs to be talked about when your career is brought up. It needs to be. What, are people supposed to just put that under the rug? No. What you did in the playoffs last year was choke. That's what you did. Choke. You and the Clippers choked. Kawhi Leonard choked too. You're not the only one who choked. But when you hit the side of the backboard when you're in the NBA and give up a 3-1 lead and have a lead at halftime, a double-digit lead at that, and you still couldn't get the job done, there's no excuse. None. And you shouldn't get butthurt when people bring it up. Because until you do something meaningful in the playoffs this year, you're going to be hearing it all the time. Now, is Paul George going to show up big and the Clippers are going to make the finals? Hell no. They'll be lucky if they make the conference finals. I'm not just saying this as a Lakers fan. I'm not. I'm being honest. I'm being realistic. But this isn't the hate on the Clippers show. It's not. We just talk facts on this show. We do. And another fact is that the Brooklyn Nets are terrible right now. They are. They have notable losses now to the Wizards, Hornets, Grizzlies twice, and the Hawks. They're 5-5 right now. What does this mean? We're 10 games into the season, and they're 500. Let's not overreact. I'm the first one to say it. But the Nets right now, they're looking iffy. They really are. They lost to the Wizards, who have the worst record in the league right now. And in that loss, Kyrie and KD both missed game winners. Now you might be like, well, everybody in the NBA misses game winners. Yeah, that's true. But remember when Kyrie Irving had this to say? This is the first time in my career I can look down and be like, that mother effer can make that shot too. When talking about Kevin Durant. Mind you, he's played with LeBron James. Now, for him to make comments like that and to look at their record right now just makes you question. Kevin Durant's been out the last couple games due to COVID reasons. And the last game they played, Kyrie Irving didn't play. And when asked why he didn't play, he said, because I didn't want to. It makes you think. It really does. Could it have been for political reasons? Maybe. Could it not have? Maybe. It's very questionable what's going on in Brooklyn right now. Karis LeVert had 43 last game. He's a hooper, man. He's a hooper. And I have a feeling he's not liking Kyrie and KD in Brooklyn. I have a feeling. Don't be surprised if Karis LeVert isn't a Brooklyn Net next year or even by the end of the season. Do the Nets win the East? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Not with their play recently. No. One team that may win the East, the 76ers. They have the best record in the East right now. They are balling. Tobias Harris, he's averaging 19. Tobias Harris is averaging 19. He's huge. He was just named Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Joel's acting like a big man. Ben Simmons is doing what he does. You know, Doc Rivers done one hell of a job in Philadelphia. They just played their last game with 7 players. They lost, but Tyrese Maxey, their rookie, 39 points. The most by a rookie this season. Kid special. A beautiful pickup by Philly. Daryl Morey in that front office is amazing. Can the 76ers pull it off and win the East and go to the NBA Finals? I'm not totally sold on it, and here's why. They have Doc Rivers as a coach. Doc Rivers, great in the regular season. Great. His last couple playoff appearances, been very questionable. They have. We'll see what Doc Rivers does in the playoffs. Because if he can't bring this team to the Eastern Conference Finals, we're definitely going to have that talk about if he truly is a great coach or if he's just put in the situations to win. We'll have that talk. We'll see with Philly, man. We will see. Now, we're not just going to talk about the teams that have been doing good or the teams that are doing bad. We're going to start talking about the players. There's been a lot of players that have had great seasons so far. One of them, which play for the Detroit Pistons, who are damn near last in the East right now. Well, I still think we'll make the playoffs. I still got them making the 8th seed. I still do. Because they have one man in Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant, over his last 8 games, he's averaging 26. 26 points a game for Jeremy Grant. Insane. It's crazy. This man has taken a giant leap this season. Giant leap. And I'm here for it. I have high praise for him. The Pistons are in a bit of trouble. They lost their rookie, Killian Hayes. Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose playing not that many games this season. So we'll see. Another player that's been balling, Bradley Beal. I feel so bad for Bradley, man. I feel so bad for Bradley. The Wizards right now are terrible. Flat out garbage. Bradley Beal just dropped his career high 60 points in a loss. He also dropped 40 the next game and still lost by double digits. Bradley Beal leads this league in scoring with 35 points a game. He needs to get out of there. He's wasting his prime. He is. I feel so bad for him. And to make things worse, he plays with Westbrook. See what I did there? Nah, man. Russell Westbrook, 19 points per game while shooting 37% from the field with 5 turnovers a game. 5. He's got to swallow his pride, man. He's got to. Westbrook could be so much better than he is. But it's just his ego, man. He needs to stop thinking that he's the best player on the court all the time. He does. It hurts him. It hurts the team. I'm once again right so far. I told you the Wizards aren't going to make the playoffs. They have the worst record in the league right now. The Wizards are not going to work this year. I won't be surprised if Bradley Beal's traded this offseason and or with Russell Westbrook. Some other players that have been doing good this year, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I just want to say I hope Jason Tatum is okay. He just tested positive for coronavirus. I'm wishing him well. You know, this virus is no joke. Tatum and Brown are one of the best duos in the league, if not the best. Tatum and Brown are averaging 26 and 26 respectively. They're 7-3 right now. And like I said, Jaylen Brown is not better than Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum this past week has had game winners, 40 points. He's done it all. But Jaylen Brown's not that far behind him. I'll admit it. He's not. He's having a great season. It's still Jason Tatum's team. It is. No doubt about that. Another duo in the East who's surprising this season is R.J. Barrett and Randall. R.J.'s averaging 17, 7, and 3, while Randall's averaging 22, 12, and 7. The Knicks are 5 and 4 right now. Wow. When's the last time the Knicks have had a winning record through their first 9 games? When's the last time? I can't remember. The Knicks are balling right now. They are. And I'll give credit where credit is due. The Knicks are hooping. Are the Knicks going to make the playoffs? No. But do the Knicks have a better chance of making the playoffs than the Bulls? Hell yeah. I just had to say that for the few Bulls fans that are listening. I had to say it. I have no faith in Chicago. But Zach LaVine is averaging 26 per game, while the Bulls are 4-6. It's tragic, man. It's tragic. But what can you do? The Bulls don't have the right pieces at the moment. A lot of young guys. It's hard to win that way. It is. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Does Zach LaVine get traded this offseason? Possibly. Where should he go? LA, baby. I honestly don't know if Zach LaVine will ever request a trade. It'll be for his own good. It will. But while talking about the Lakers, LeBron's averaging 24, 8, and 7. And AD 22 and 9. Lakers got the best record in the West right now. Is LeBron up for MVP? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if LeBron will win another one. And that's just due to the fact that he's won so many. And he's 36 years old. You know how the league votes for MVPs. They might give it to Giannis again for some reason. The Bucks are struggling as well. So we'll see where that award goes to. We talked about a few players that have teed up this year. But back to one team in particular, the Phoenix Suns. Wow, man. Wow. The Phoenix Suns are crazy. Crazy. 7-3. They have 7 players right now averaging over 10. Chris Paul doing his thing. Devin Booker scoring the hell out of the basketball. DeAndre Ayton finally looking like an all-star. Chris Paul's making him look like an all-star. He is. That's what Chris Paul does with big men. No surprise there. Mikal Bridges, insane. This man had 34 tonight. He's crazy. Against a tough Pacers team, with Sabonis having a 20-20 game. Sabonis could be an MVP favorite this year. He really could. But the Suns are balling right now. Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder. They got shooters, man. Sarge. They're going to be a tough team to play in the playoffs. And if you're a fan of any teams in the Western Conference, you should be scared of them. Because, honestly, as a Lakers fan, I'm a little scared. Will the Lakers get it done against them? Hell yeah. But can the Suns maybe make an upset? They could if they If they're playing like this, who knows? I mean, could the Phoenix Suns have a Miami Heat type run this year? Absolutely. Absolutely. Can the Miami Heat have another Miami Heat run? Absolutely. They just got to turn their season around. They're playing awful this year. They are playing awful. And I just hope Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Bam, I hope they just turn it around. I hope they do, because I still think they'll make the finals. They just got to make the playoffs first. We're going to end this episode of Rod's Radio with talking about who's the MVP so far. I feel like right now you have three choices. Three. You got LeBron James, who has helped the Lakers get the best record in the West. 24-7-8. Can't deny greatness. Can't. But you also have Steph Curry. He's willing the Warriors to the playoffs this year. He is. There's no doubt in my mind. I promise you that the Warriors are going to make the playoffs. Steph Curry could easily average 30 in this league for the next 5 years. 7 years? 10 years? We'll see. But he's definitely in the MVP conversation. And finally, you have Luka Doncic. Luka's my man. I love Luka. Love him. The Mavericks are a tough team to beat, man. They are when Luka's hot. Luka's averaging 27, 9, and 8. That's an MVP stat line. There's no question. There's no question. But who wins it out of these three players? Do they give it to LeBron? I don't think so. As much as I hope that they would, they won't. I don't think LeBron James will win another MVP. I feel like last year was his best bet to win another one. But they did him dirty. There's no way in hell Giannis deserved that. I'm sorry. No way. Does Steph Curry win another MVP? He definitely can. He definitely can. Will the NBA give it to him? We'll see. But I don't think this year he'll win another MVP. My pick for the MVP is still Luka Doncic. That stat line is undoubtedly MVP worthy. Luka is going to have multiple MVPs in this league. Multiple championships. Luka's first MVP is this year. That's my pick for the MVP so far. Does Luka stay consistent? Does Steph stay consistent? Does LeBron stay consistent? Yes, yes, and yes. It's going to be very interesting to see those three play for the rest of the season, because I know all of them want an MVP. But I feel like it's the year of the Luka. So that'll do it for this week's episode of Rod's Radio. I appreciate you guys for listening. I thank all of you so much. Remember to follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at Rods_radio. That is at Rods_radio. At RODS_RADIO. I post everything Rods Radio on there. I post news. I post updates. So make sure you guys give a follow on Instagram and Twitter. Next episode will be on the 16th. I'm very excited for that, and I'm very excited for the rest of the NBA season. So with that being said, there's only one thing I have left to say. Rod out.